I'm probably the least popular person in the room, so I'm presenting the facts that we found to date and how it forms part of the process. I do want to let you know we had extensive meetings today with both America and the other groups. All the public input is going to the report. The report is not finalized, so we do value your opinion. Certainly, I know you probably, well, I might not be fair to say you probably hate me, but that's fair. If you keep the hate yourself, you can throw it at me. I'll take it, but I prefer to just go through my presentation. So thanks. The focus of the field studies that were required for the environmental assessment were field studies to characterize the site. As well, the process included background review of data, and there was a real focus on species at risk. That was the main impetus for this site. As was noted in the other presentation, the Canadian Environmental Assessment Act is no longer mandated on this site, so this is a more voluntary review, but a species at risk certainly would be something that is important to consider. During the screening, 25 potential species at risk were identified, and out of those species, 16 were determined to not have impact based on screening. Some of these species included mussels that potentially could have been in the river. The proposal didn't involve any work in the river, as well as other species that were screened out based on habitat possibility, and this was confirmed with Environment Canada with the Canadian Wildlife Service. Additional surveys were completed, and these involved reptiles, birds, and plants. These were the focus of the additional surveys that were conducted, and these methods were discussed and approved with Environment Canada and Canadian Wildlife Service. In terms of the reptile surveys, cover board surveys were completed. A total of 46 cover boards were installed. One was wood and one was shingle at each location. Follow-up surveys were undertaken looking at the cover boards. And during those surveys, no buffer scars linked to eastern snakes were found. No bass and turtles were identified during the reptile surveys, which took place in mid-afternoon during the reptile surveys.
How hot was the day?
Yeah, what month?
Yeah, December? When they're hibernating?
What month? February?
In terms of the green bird surveys, a total of 30 birds were identified. All the species that were identified were considered secure, S5, or uncommon but not rare in province, S4.
So that makes it okay.
The majority of the species that were identified were urban tolerant or backyard species. The 5 remaining species that were identified preferred shrubbery habitat, marsh habitat, riparian habitat, and were generally found to not be area sensitive. No avian species at risk were identified during this site visits.